A pleasant good morning to you and a warm welcome to Newshour. I am Esther Sako. Coming up, Mayor Freetown expresses strong concern over government's plan to divide the capital city into two separate administrative entities. Kroo Tribal Administration launches project for reconstruction of Kroo Courthouse. And Liberals Foundation embarks on tree planting at Mile 13 water catchment area as part of activities marking its 27th anniversary. These stories and many more, including entertainment and sport, I will land up in this morning's edition of Newshour. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, has firmly expressed concern over the recent announcement of government to divide the capital city into two separate administrative entities. According to an open letter addressed to the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Tambalamina, the Mayor highlighted what she described as the negative consequences of such a division. She also had an engagement with civil society activists and journalists on the issue. Let's join Dennis Fraser for more.
Condoning the wrong thing all the time. By silence, you...
The media engagement with drew a cross-section of attendees, including journalists, civil society activists, members of parliament, local stakeholders, and other relevant authorities, created a platform for constructive dialogue on an open letter by the Mayor of Freetown to the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Honorable Ambassador Tambalamina, in order to address the cabinet seeking approval to divide the historic city of Freetown into two cities under two local councils. Mayor Akisoya said such a division, if allowed, will have negative consequences.
A local council's primary purpose is thus to govern and manage a local area, representing the interests of its residents and providing essential service. Global best practice is for such structures to be responsible for local functions such as, number 1, land use planning.
The Kroo Descendants Union recounted that Freetown became a municipality in 1799 through a charter granted to the Sierra Leone Company by the British Crown, and in the charter there was an entrenched clause protecting it from fragmentation. Speaking on the legal ramifications and consequences on the proposed action, Public Relations Officer of Lawyer Society Claude Bami Davis cited Section 38 subsection 4 of the Constitution, stating that the division of the country into constituencies must be informed by a demography, which should be done after the conduct of a national census. He noted that the municipality was already divided into wards, which are headed by the mayor as per the Local Government Act 2022. According to the Chief Executive Officer, Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, Abdul Fatoma, who was speaking on the social and human rights impact, said the move was a divisive plan. He cited the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report's recommendations for an inclusive action in decision-making that protects the welfare of all citizens.
The Reconciliation Commission strongly recommend to we say
the Truth and Reconciliation Commission strongly recommended that after the Civil War had ended, one significant lesson learned from the Civil War was based on the existing division. It was therefore important to ensure that these mistakes are not repeated.
We will be inclusive in decision making.
The mayor concluded that the division of Freetown will adversely affect not only the delivery of services to residents, but will also add additional and unnecessary pressure to an already stretched government budget and would undermine the rich legacy and tourism potential of Freetown. She cited the need to protect the interests of good governance, democracy, and rule of law. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
Sierra Leone Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, or SLbc office, has displayed oaths to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative ET delegation. The delegation consisted of members from various countries. Executive Director of ET, Mark Robinson, lauded Sierra Leone's positive strides in reforming the mining sector. Joseph Tui has more.
The visit of the Extractive Industries Transparent Initiative executive to Sierra Leone was to get first-hand information on the happenings in the extractive sector. It was also to communicate the value of EITI for Sierra Leone, which is a natural resources-rich country. During the visit to the Minister of State, Office of the Vice President, Executive Director of the EITI, Mark Robinson, said their focus was to look into revenue mobilization, legal reforms, among other things.
We're also here to encourage the government to deepen even further its commitment to implementation of the EITI. You'll all know that Sierra Leone scored really very well, a high score in validation back in 2022.
Briefing the visiting team, government officials, CSO representatives, among others, said many positive things have been done in the sector. They, however, pushed for some legal reforms, effective communication to the local communities on the operations and adherence by mining companies to the laws of Sierra Leone.
The reason being is that EITI in Sierra Leone is heavily underfunded and under-resourced. The tool for me for EITI is communication. That's the major thing. And you kept hammering on how do people get information in this room and outside this room.
According to the Minister of State, Office of the Vice President, Manti Tarawali, the visit was very timely and it was an opportunity for them to look into the issues that needed to be rectified.
I think one is for us to review our policy and our legal instrument to see whether the new things we've heard today, which are new for us, fit into what we've already put down. You want again about us reviewing all the, the standards and selecting which standards we want to focus on each time.
After the engagement with the multi-stakeholders group, the EITI boss, Mark Robinson, said they were committed to improving governance on oil, gas, and the extractive industries as a whole. He said Sierra Leone has been doing well under the EITI and that has the potential to attract more investors.
The country needs to benefit from its own natural resources and citizens need to see that. One way of doing that is from taxes paid to the government. Because taxes from minerals will be the long-term solution to addressing the needs for investing in schools, hospitals and roads. And the third benefit is at the local level, near the mine site. The citizens need to see the benefits. Will they get the jobs? Will they get any share of the income to their communities coming from mining?
The Extractive Industries Transparent Initiative through SLbc is creating awareness of natural resources management, consolidating public and corporate governance, and providing data to inform greater transparency and accountability in the extractive sector. SLbc, Joseph Toure reporting.
The Kroo Tribal Administration has launched their ambitious reconstruction project for the Kroo courthouse, which is known as the Kroo Tribal Administrative Building. During the ceremony held at St. Edward's School Hall in Freetown, a diverse crowd of Kroo natives and supporters from both local and diaspora communities all united in their commitment to preserving and enhancing their cultural heritage. Our reporter, Christina Kamara, has more.
We must build the Kroo Tribal Administrative Building because it is a symbol of our legacy. The Kroo people helped shape Freetown, and this building will stand as a proof of our contribution to the development of the municipality.
According to Chairman of the Building and Project Planning Committee, Kroo Tribal Administration, Reverend Engineer Eranos Tape Thompson, the reconstruction project aims to maintain the integrity of the ground floor while implementing necessary structural engineering improvements. He said the plans include the construction of 4 new floors to accommodate various community functions, which include the courtroom, offices, multipurpose hall, vocational and computer training centers.
Money generated from that building would be used to educate the Kroo children and the neighborhood within the Kroo community. Because helping just the Kroo children and failing to help their friends, our children will still be corrupted. So it's an opportunity to address the social decline in the Kroo community along Kroo Town Road.
This transformative initiative was seen as a crucial step toward restoring and upholding the cultural identities of the Kroo people. The event marked a significant revolution in their efforts to restore their cultural identities, provide essential services to their ethnic group, help resolve minor tribal disputes, and also offer affordable vocational and digital trainings. Originally constructed in the early 1930s, the Kroo Courthouse served as a pivotal institution for settling disputes among the Kroo people and provided housing for the reigning chief. It also housed the Kroo Primary School, now known as St. Thomas Municipal School, located in Ascension Town. However, decades of neglect have led to the significant degradation of the building, prompting the current generation of Kroo descendants to take action. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana Kamari reporting.
As part of activity 27th anniversary, the Lagos Foundation has embarked on a tree planting of over 5,000 trees at the Gumo Mile 13 water catchment area. The anniversary, which is being observed under the theme "Together We Grow, Strengthen Nature's Fabric, One Tree at a Time," is in celebration of the Foundation's enduring legacy and contribution towards the preservation of Sierra Leone's water resources and combating climate change. Jonathan Tona reports.
As shovels hit the soil and seedlings were planted by Liberites, well-wishers, supporters, community volunteers and dignitaries, the message was clear: restoring nature starts with action. The campaign also included educational session on tree care, community stewardship and climate change adaptation and health benefits. Head of Liberals Foundation, Engineer Ismail Bundu, noted the urgent need to restore the Guma catchment area, a key source of water for the capital city of Freetown, adding that tree planting is not just an environmental obligation, it is a survival strategy.
Has played. And this year, over the past few years, we've been hearing a lot about water catchment encroachment, degradation of our facilities, Guma Valley, by extension, the Guma Dam, right at the back being here. So this is supplying 95% of the population of Freetown. And all of us know the amount of shortage in water supply in Freetown. So it's crucial for us this year to look at something again that has to do with the environment.
The event attracted a strong coalition of partners and stakeholders, including the country director, World Vision Sierra Leone, Shagani Tau, managing director of the Guma Valley Water Company, Mada Penge. They praised the foundation's environmental commitments.
The environment for our current generation and for future generation is important, because if this plant does not have enough water, we experience the negative consequence. But the future generation, the children for which we are investing in terms of health and nutrition,
should be discouraged. The construction of homes, the cutting down of trees, the sale of land within these protected areas, we absolutely frown upon, and some of these things we should try very hard to try and reverse it.
Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, lauded the Liberals Foundation for stepping up and reinforcing the city's Freetown, the Treason initiative. She said such a move was exactly the kind of civic engagement the country needs to safeguard the environment.
On the Treason, mainly so that they get covered by a catchment area group, a CBO group, and the monitors, because our trees are all monitored. They're tracked on a regular basis. We are losing our trees though, because if we plant where people are building, they're cutting down our trees. And those places were agreed in advance with the Ministry of Land. So it's really disappointing to see this level of destruction going on with the trees we plant as well as with those that are already here.
The keynote endorsement came from the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Dr. Sao Pato Hana Isata Maxkine, who lauded the initiative as a model example of community-led environmental action.
That you must plant trees to be able to protect the catchment area, and it is an initiative that we hope will get other people emulating so that they support not just the ministry but also the country to make sure that we maintain and protect our water catchment areas.
With over 5,000 trees taking root, the Liberals Foundation has reaffirmed its role as a trailblazer in grassroots environmental protection, reminding all that together the country will truly grow. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change has led the launch of a project to conserve and restore mangroves on coastlines in Freetown. The Sierra Leone Coastal Resilience Project aims to look at key thematic areas including mangrove conservation and restoration, education, health and nutrition, sustainable livelihood, gender equality, and WASH. Emmanuel Samoa reports.
According to the World Meteorological Organization, 2024 has a record-breaking heat level of 1.5 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels, making it the warmest year on a record based on 6 international data sets. This extreme weather event and ongoing extreme weather situation is seriously affecting especially coastline communities, thereby affecting livelihoods and inflicting poverty on those residing in those communities. The introduction of the Sierra Leone Coastal Resilience Project stands as a promise to protect coastline communities from the escalating threats of climate change and equip the next generation with the tools and knowledge to be able to thrive in a changing world.
We are especially proud that this project puts children and young people at the center as active agents of change. Their voices, their experiences, and their leadership will shape this work from the ground up.
The project seeks to directly support about 260,000 people in 5 coastal districts, including Cambia, Potloko, Moyamba, Bond, and Pujan districts. For the Iceland head of mission, she is highly interested in enhancing livelihoods in coastline communities because it is the focus of Iceland's development efforts in Sierra Leone, as their country is a small coastline nation that earns its living from the sea.
Being more exposed to climate risks, coastal communities also tend to be underserved and often experiencing higher rates of poverty. So focusing on these communities is well aligned with Iceland's overall development cooperation policy.
The Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Gio Abdullahi, said the Sierra Leone Coastline Resilience Project serves as one of their responses to defend the dignity, livelihood and future of coastline communities.
Our collective resolve to act. This project is one of our responses. This $26.8 million investment is one of the most ambitious climate adaptation undertakings in our coastal zones.
Amidst the beautiful speeches and commitment of all partners in the hall, a young, vibrant child advocate for climate change, Ellen Manner, described a resilient Sierra Leone in climate context as a country of strength that is equipped to respond to situations like flood, mangroves deforestation, scarcity, and gender-based violence as an aftermath. She reminded our elders that beyond the technical responses and adaptation plans, they must and should not forget the children and people living with disability.
I stand to say this on behalf of all young people, that we are not too small to matter. We are not just the future, we are the present. We have ideas, we have the energy, we can make valuable contributions to this mission, because Sierra Leone is our home too, and we care deeply about her.
The Sierra Leone Coastal Resilience Project is a 5-year project that will be focusing on key thematic areas like mangroves, conservation and restoration, education, sustainable livelihood, gender equality, health and nutrition, and WASH. Emmanuel Samura, SLBC.
Preliminary investigations continue before Magistrate Mustafa Brahmaja at Kenema Road Magistrate Court Number 1 in the state versus Joseph Dumbuya and Ahmed Sise. The accused persons are being investigated on charges of treason and murder in relation to the November 26, 2023 coup attempt. Mohammed Koma was in court and now reports.
Prosecution witness number 4 in the case of the state versus Joseph Dumbuya and Ahmed Sise, Hassan Andrew Silas Kombe recounted that he called on 13th March 2025 when the accused persons were arrested and brought to the CID headquarters in Freetown, where he is attached. He said he obtained statements from the accused persons which he presented in court. While questioning the witness, lawyer representing 2 of the accused persons, Cherno Kamara, inquired whether the witness was aware that one of the accused persons was working for the deputy bank governor and was also a businessman before being arrested. The witness responded in the affirmative. State Prosecutor Yusuf Isaac Sise made their position that having led 4 witnesses, they were relying on the evidence so far presented before the court. Magistrate Mustafa Brahmaja adjourned the matter to Tuesday, 10th June 2025. Meanwhile, a similar matter is being investigated between the state versus Saliu Jallo for the offenses of treason and misprision of treason in relation to the November 26, 2023 coup attempt. State Prosecutor Yusuf Isaac Sise applied for the accused person Saliu Jallo to be prosecuted based on the consent of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. The magistrate Mustafa Brahmaja ruled in the prosecution's favor. Prosecution witness Hassan Andrew Silas Kombe said he could recall on 13th March 2025 when the accused was brought to the CID headquarters after being arrested in Makeni. Defense counsel Komba Kasibori cross-examined the witness. Defense counsel Komba Kasibori cross-examined the witness, inquiring whether the accused person Saliu Jallo was among the list of persons declared as wanted. He responded in the negative but said the accused was implicated. The accused persons in both matters are being investigated for attempting to overthrow the government of President Bio by breaking into the male and female correctional centers and unlawfully releasing inmates and destroying facilities. For SLBC, Mohamed Kouma reporting.
Statistics Sierra Leone has begun a 7-day pilot cartographic training for field staff. The trainees are expected to train other 400 staff that will be assigned to various districts ahead of the forthcoming housing and population census. Moses Conte witnessed the event at Hotel 510 east of Freetown and now reports.
In 2021, the midterm census had mixed feeling among many citizens. Some people even claimed that they were never counted. Thus, these engagements serve as a test run of the application for expertise and materials set aside for the 2026 national census. It also aimed at putting systems in place to correct some of the odds in previous census. Chairman Statistics Sierra Leone Moses Williams said 2 chiefdoms and 1 district have been selected to start the pilot programs because of their proximity, environment and challenges. The 2 chiefdoms include Dema in Bon District, Kisiteng in Kailaun District and Bombali District. He said that will be the start for the rollout of the national census in 2026. Mr. Williams called on staff not to politicalize the process, noting that when the work is done well, it will benefit the entire country. District representatives appreciated the venture by Statistics Sierra Leone. They said some of their communities were hard-to-reach areas. They call on personnel to be efficient because the people living in that part of the country were citizens of Sierra Leone. They further pledged to expedite the process while calling for personnel to maintain accuracy and transparency in discharging their duties. 18 personnel will be assigned to Kisiteng, Kailaun District, 7 to Bombali District, and 12 personnel in Dema Chiefdom, Bon District. According to the Statistician General, Statistics Sierra Leone and Good Journey, the engagement was vital for the capacity building of their staff in order for them to be more professional. For the next 7 days, the trainees will also go through geographical delimitation.
If you're just joining in, this is news coming to you live from the Slbc Broadcasting Corporation from Freetown. We continue with more stories. In an effort to complement government's effort in providing welfare for vulnerable communities, the Humanitarian Aid Organization, in collaboration with the International Humanitarian Hub based in the Netherlands, has provided clothing and livestock to communities in Waterloo and Bo in celebration of Eid al-Adha, the Feast of Sacrifice. Abdul Mansari has the story.
These are representatives from the Humanitarian Aid Organization in Sierra Leone and the International Humanitarian from the Netherlands gathered here at a local community in Waterloo, distributing a collection of clothing items to less privileged children. The donations included traditional attire including shoes, suitable for the festive occasion, ensuring that recipients could participate fully in the celebrations with dignity and joy. In addition to clothing, the organizations provided essential livestock to booster the Eid festivities. A total of 60 cows were slaughtered and donated to over 5,000 people in Waterloo, whilst other 40 cows were also slaughtered and donated in Bo City. Board Chair Humanitarian Aid Organization Gassimo Jar said their act of charity was a fundamental aspect of the celebration, with meat typically shared among family, friends, and less privileged.
We've tried to reach up to 3,000 people this time around, and which I think it was satisfying to see that number of people receive their packages. So, I mean, again, we're looking maybe next year we could increase it from 100 to 150. You know, we could do 125. So now we've seen that there's appetite, there's really people, you know, are looking forward to something like this. So the first one is like a pilot. We want to see if really people are looking forward and want to have something like this. And now we know that there's demand for that.
Board member, Humanitarian Aid Organization, Bob Linda Bami-Koka, said the organization, which started operations early last year, has been working tirelessly to give support to vulnerable communities, including women, children, and special needs people in the country. She further revealed their future plans, including providing free medical services to the less privileged.
We have over 500 orphans that we are supporting on a monthly basis by giving them some stipend, and we also intend bringing in some medical equipment and then medical doctors that will come and do free medical aid to Sierra Leoneans. So that too will also ensure we plan it in a way such that everybody, if not everybody in the country will one way or the other benefit from.
A beneficiary from the Cuban project, Amnata Mustafa, expressed her gratitude and appreciation for the donation and called on the donors and any other helping organization to provide shelter for them in Bo.
We are overjoyed. I don't even know how to start ourselves out for end. Well, like some of we who they so not get side for day. If they get the upper hand for let them help we not able to get side for day. They let Allah provide for them.
Community stakeholders and other government officials expressed their appreciations for the initiative and share the importance of the initiative to those vulnerable communities. Slbc News are in Freetown. Abdul Mansari reporting.
In a bid to support national health efforts and raise public awareness about the rapid spread of the Mpox disease, the Men's Union of the St. Patrick's Anglican Church has organized a sensitization health walk in the east of Freetown. Our own Aminata Fofana was among participants.
Mpox is a kill. Mpox, monkeypox. Then you sick with a come. Is a killer. For them not go believe. Monkeypox. Mpox is a kill.
The exercise, which began at the PWD junction and concluded at the church's premises in Kisi Dockyard, brought together church members and other people from various walks of life. Participants marched with placards bearing health messages and warnings about the dangers of the Mpox virus to individuals and society at large. According to church leaders, the initiative was aimed at complementing the government's ongoing campaign to educate the public about the prevention and control of Mpox. And as spiritual leaders, they said the church has a responsibility to contribute to public health awareness, especially at a time when diseases like Mpox pose serious threats to communities.
And let people know, say, anything where they do, they fall out for what's there. Because these hands, they will get, they take so many diseases there. So when you play with money, especially that they in the market, when they play with money, before they sell anything, give people they go what's there. And that will get for change.
Residents along the way expressed appreciation for the awareness campaign. Many pledged to adhere to the preventive measures and share the information with others to help curb the spread of the disease. The work also included a house-to-house sensitization drive culminating in a short ceremony where participants were awarded certificates in recognition of their contributions to the health initiative. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
Following the update on May 15, 2025 of over 150 new cases of the Mpox and 13 deaths across the country, efforts to strengthen prevention and awareness of the disease are intensifying. The China Railway 7th Group CRSG has taken a proactive step by inviting medical experts from the 26th Chinese Human Medical Team for training with staff of CRSG. The session focused on Mpox, malaria prevention, and cardiopulmonary resuscitation first aid. Esther Nene Kamara witnessed the training and now reports.
Chest compressions. You find the position and the chest position. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
As Sierra Leone grapples with the wave of Mpox cases, the China Railway 7th Group Sierra Leone Limited, in collaboration with the 26th Chinese Medical Team, has organized training for staff to raise awareness and strengthen internal health safety of workers. The training session, held at the company's headquarters in Freetown, brought together CRSG staff who were taught on the prevention of Mpox, malaria, and how to administer basic first aid in emergency situations. According to the General Manager of China Railway 7th Group Sierra Leone Company, Doshingo, the initiative is part of CRSG's corporate commitment to health and safety, especially amid the resurgence of infectious diseases in the country.
At present, with monkeypox continuing to spread, malaria outbreaks during seasonal change, under the support of the Chinese Embassy in Sierra Leone, our company and the 26th Chinese medical team have joined hands to organize this timely and much-needed health seminar. It delivers a targeted public lecture on effective prevention and control methods against the monkeypox outbreak.
The Economy and Commercial Counselor of Chinese Embassy in Sierra Leone, Wang Peng, lauded the initiative, noting that they will continue to give medical support to Sierra Leone. He went further to pledge their commitment to strengthen the relationship between Sierra Leone and China.
Today is a very good opportunity, I just mentioned, to share the knowledge from the CRSG and CMT to the local staff and the local community and local peoples of Sierra Leone. And on behalf of the Chinese government and the Chinese embassy to Sierra Leone, we encourage more and more Chinese enterprises and agencies to contribute a lot.
Facilitator from the Chinese medical team, Dr. Zhang Wei, explained that Mpox, though preventable, can spread rapidly in work environment where close contact is frequent. He emphasized the importance of early detection, personal hygiene, and workplace sanitation. Employees actively participated in training, engaging in demonstrations on how to give cardiopulmonary resuscitation, identify symptoms of Mpox and malaria, and respond appropriately to common medical emergencies. Participants expressed their appreciation to CRSG for the training, noting that it was timely.
This training session impacts knowledge on how a person could come in contact with a person that has the Mpox virus, how to cure it, and how to prevent it from your home and even your working environment.
I really appreciate them for that, because before this time, I don't know what I will do to prevent the sick.
As the country continues to navigate the complexities of the outbreak, shared initiatives are crucial for mitigating the impact of the disease and ensuring the well-being of communities. For SLBC News, Estanine Kamara reporting.
In a step towards women empowerment and self-dependence, Akons Slbc has held its 15th graduation ceremony for nearly 50 graduates in the class of 2025. The ceremony held at the Aberdeen Community Centre was a celebration of educational achievements and a testament to the bakery's commitment to fostering community development. Our reporter, Christina Kamara, has more on that story.
The ceremony opened with an exciting procession where graduates marched into the hall to sounds of inspirational music, creating an atmosphere of joy and excitement. One of the highlights of the ceremony was the heartfelt testimonials shared by graduates who recounted their personal experiences and expressed gratitude to their teachers, the chief executive officer, and friends. CEO of Abcons, Abiose Bekri, Abiose Babadi, delivered an impactful statement inspiring the graduates to pursue their aspirations in baking, garata dyeing, and decoration with passion and determination.
The aim of this program is to empower young girls, help them out to earn their own money and help others, help their children, husband at home, and in whatever thing you want to do. If you have the passion, the strength, the support, then do it. I want to encourage all young girls, boys, those that are not doing nothing, just sit at home, watch film, taking bad walks and all. I want to encourage them all to come and listen because it's very much important.
The event also featured a melodrama performed by students, showcasing their creativity and talent further adding to the celebratory atmosphere. Keynote speaker Reverend Matthew Davis encouraged the graduates to embrace their future with confidence and integrity, reinforcing the values of hard work and commitment. The ceremony recognized the Students of the Year Prize winner, celebrating the dedication of all students. The CEO, Abiose Babadi, donated startup kits to support the graduates as they embark on their next chapter, demonstrating a commitment to empowering young women in the community. The distribution of certificates marked the culmination of the ceremony, with each graduate receiving recognition for their accomplishments. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana Kumar reporting.
From Christiana Kamara, we now move on to international news.
This is the international news, and I am Cecilia Alice Cisse. The third United Nations Ocean Conference, UNOC 3, opened Monday in Nice, France, bringing together world leaders, scientists, and environmental advocates to address urgent challenges facing the world's ocean, from pollution to overfishing and climate change. France and Costa Rica hosted the 5-day conference, which aims to accelerate global efforts to protect marine ecosystems. These ecosystems sustain over 3 billion people and play a critical role in regulating the Earth's climate. Key priorities for the conference include advancing the 30x30 target, a global commitment to protect 30% of the world's ocean by 2030. Currently, only 8.4% of marine areas are under some form of protection. A member of Britain's armed forces has been arrested in Kenya and UK. Military police are investigating, the Ministry of Defense said on Sunday. Some Kenyans have long complained about the soldiers' behavior and the atmosphere around their training camp near the town of Nanyuki. There was an outcry over the 2012 death of 21-year-old Agnes Wanjiru, who was last seen alive in Ba with British troops near their training camp. Her body was later found in a septic tank. The British Army has launched an inquiry into allegations of unacceptable behavior by UK personnel in Kenya. The Ministry of Defense said in a statement that all British personnel in the country have clear direction about how to behave on and off duty, must complete mandatory training, and attend compulsory briefings on conduct. We will have zero tolerance for unacceptable behavior. A Nigerian Catholic priest who recently served in the United States has been abducted by extremists along with other travelers in northeast Nigeria's Borno State, the church said. The Reverend Alphonsus Afina was kidnapped on June 1st near the northeastern town of Woza, close to the border with Cameroon, by the Islamic extremist group Boko Haram. Bishop John Bongna Bakini of Maiduguri told the Associated Press on Sunday. The priest was traveling from the city of Mubi, where he is based, to Maiduguri, the capital of Borno, for a workshop when his convoy was ambushed by armed men while waiting for clearance at a military checkpoint, he said. A rocket-propelled grenade hit one of the vehicles, killing one person and wounding others, according to the bishop. Nigerian authorities are struggling to stem rising violence in the north and central regions, where armed groups including Boko Haram target rural communities, killing thousands and abducting people to ransom. And finally, on the international news, tens of thousands of Muslim pilgrims gathered in reverence on Sunday to perform the farewell circumambulation, circling around Mecca's Kaaba as Hajj reached its end. The Kaaba, a block cube-shaped structure, is the focal point towards which Muslims face during their daily prayers from anywhere in the world. The Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, is required at least once in a lifetime for all Muslims who are physically and financially able. This year's pilgrimage, attended by more than 1.8 million people, was under tight logistical planning and safety precautions designed to manage the intense heat and large crowds. Well, that's the end of the international news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. I am Cecilia Alice. Say goodbye.
Many thanks there to Cecilia Alice for the international news. We'll now move on to sport updates.
Today is that tomorrow we talked about yesterday. It's the sporting updates that keeps you in the know. Now, Cheltenham FC has been crowned champions of the Cambia District Council Champions League 2025-2026 season and claiming a star prize of 200,000 new leons from Cambia. Mohamed Lamin Toure sent in this report.
The first edition of the Cambia District Council League was an eye-opener for the football family as stakeholders in the community showed solidarity to the chairman of the Cambia District Council, Mohamed Masariko Mansari, who inspired the youth from various chiefdoms in Cambia District that participated. The final was graced with cultural performances as stakeholders, paramount chiefs, Minister of Sports, chairman of the NSA board, SLAFA representatives, and politicians. Addressing the players and spectators at the Cambia District field ahead of the match, the Minister of Sports, Augusta James Temer, thanked Cambia District for promoting sports in the district, stating that the team has supported the football sector by producing talent who have brought glory to the country. Further that, such competition was timely as it will create a space for the youth who are involved in football and provide a space for peace among various sectors. In the field of play, the two teams proved to be top-notch as they displayed talents that shared joy to the spectators as the Mariban strikers got the cutting razor in the second half of play. The Cheltenham had a technical goal that brought the game to a halt for over 15 minutes, with each side attacking the referee and his assistants organizers, but the police quickly intervened to calm the boiling situation. Vice President 2, Sierra Leone Football Association, Ali Badara, interpreted the rules of football and called on both teams to end the match and to deviate from violence. The remaining minutes of play ended in a penalty in which the Mapema goalkeeper failed to convert his chance that saw the Cheltenham win the match. The distribution of Best Player, Highest Goal Scorer, Golden Glove, Runners-Up and Champions Trophy provided a space for stakeholders to appeal to football authorities for attention on the field and to support the districts for participation in the Sierra Leone Premier League. SLBC Sports, Mohamed Lamin to report.
In the international scene, Cristiano Ronaldo has described Yamin Yamal as a phenomenal footballer with promising years ahead of him, and he has the prospect to win many wonderful trophies someday in football. He encouraged the youngster to be very focused and hardworking. And that's your sport.
Many thanks there to Abdul Kabir for the latest update in sports. Welcome there. Let's now draw the curtains of the news this morning. But before we go, a quick recap of our main points. The Mayor of Freetown and his family expressed a concern over the recent announcement by government to divide the capital city into two separate administrative entities. Yvonne Akisoye said the move would adversely affect service delivery and put additional and unnecessary pressure to an already overstretched government budget. The Kroo Tribal Administration has launched an ambitious reconstruction project for the Kroo courthouse, which is known as Kroo Tribal Administrative Building. And as part of activities marking its 27th anniversary, the Liberals Foundation has embarked on a tree planting of over 5,000 trees at the Gumama 13 water catchment area. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I have been your presenter, Esther Sako. Continue to stay with your public broadcaster, the SLBC, if you can. Up next is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Have a wonderful day.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits
And memories are made.
welcome to your program, Good Morning Sierra Leone, the program that always starts your day. I am Shekos Sumaila.
And I am Francis Bernard, our coach of the day. It is from Bill Gates and it says, treatment without prevention is simply unsustainable. In the program this morning, Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs takes strong stand against child abuse in Sierra Leone. Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education urged schools authorities to submit pupils data for 26 works. And Sierra Leone Medical and Dental Association set to hold its mid-year congress with a key focus on addressing Mpox. These stories, including your messages, which you can send to the number on your screen, will be part of the program. This is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and we are broadcasting live from Broadcasting House in Freetown.
We are back, and the program you're still watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, the program that always starts your day. Now, to strengthen child protection efforts in Sierra Leone, the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs has issued a press statement expressing deep concern over raising reports of violence and abuse against children in the country. The reported cases range from neglect, physical harm, to sexual abuse and trafficking. Alarming incidents that have recently been reported include sexual abuse of infants as young as 1 year old in Kailahun district, the killing of minors under 4, and the disappearance of a 4-year-old in Western Rural District just this June. But how are these disturbing cases being recorded and tracked into the ministry's database? Well, in the program this morning to talk more on this is Bashiru Tula. Mr. Tula is the Assistant Director of Gender, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. This seems to be alarming, Mr. Tula.
Indeed. Good morning, viewers.
So what are you doing? What is happening?
So, as a ministry, as you've seen from the press release, it became increasingly disturbing for us. We used to have these cases in isolation, but because it became prevalent, we decided that we should, give out this press release to tell the people, because that's how it has been happening. With all the efforts, you agree with me, that the government has put in place. Thus, we are currently reviewing the Child Rights Act. The provision of the Child Rights Act is there, and other, the street child strategy and other policies as well. Child welfare policy. We see issues of abuse and violence continue to happen against children in the country. So the ministry decided to give out this press release. I will divide into 4 thematic areas to raise out the concerns that has been happening, concerns that we think are abuse against children. And we also want to inform the public that we have laws. We have laws in this country, and the ministry is there to ensure that this
for the laws, Mr. Tula, for the laws, if it is for laws, you understand, we do have very, very good laws, but where the problem lies is enforcement, if you like, implementation. So if it is for the laws, Alfonso knows, he's a civil society activist, he knows that we have many laws, very good laws. But then how do you ensure that these laws are enforced. It is for the laws we have, them Statula.
So I said similar thing at the radio program just now that child protection enhances a collective child protection and welfare of children in the country. The laws are there, but it involves the collaboration of everyone, every facet of society, and the child is a reflection of that. The ministry will have to ensure that we coordinate all parties. The police to ensure that these cases are investigated and sent to court. And also community people that us don't, we see the role of the media, particularly social media, how things are coming out to light. And I will tell you, these things are coming out to light, it's because of what people think the ministry have been, what government have been doing. Usually, before this time, I will tell you, it used to be hidden. People used to compromise it. But now, because people think that these cases are being investigated, you see are coming to light. And the essence of it coming to light is because people think that it can be investigated and deal with them appropriately. So that is why the ministry is saying that there is a law. The ministry is there to coordinate these child protection bodies, and everybody, all of us as community people, we should ensure that we work to ensure the welfare.
Well, then what is the synergy between or among your ministry and that of child protection agencies and that of law enforcement agencies? I know the laws are there, but it is not in your powers, to enforce these laws. You have to work with law enforcement, authorities. So let us know, what is the relationship?
The relationship, I will tell you, is very, very cordial and effective. And that's how it should be. No one institution can enhance child protection in the country. When it comes to education, we have to coordinate with them to ensure that issues of education are articulated appropriately. Health is the same thing. When it comes to abuse and exploitation, obviously it is the FSU. We have social workers in this FSU. In fact, for child sexual abuse, penetration, the like, we have the remote, we have the hotline now, where you can report, and the ministry is there to give the appropriate counseling and ensure that these cases are reported to court, or the FSU investigated, and they are sent to the Bureau for advice and sent to court for the court to take its course against the perpetrator.
So, Mr. Tula, why now? Because there were times when the issue of children missing children in Freetown, to be specific, was really alarming, but you did not come out with a press release. Why?
Truly, we have been coming out as a ministry. But we decided to, as you see at the tail end of the press release, we are reviewing the Child Rights Act that's still with Parliament due to some administrative issues. It hasn't been ratified yet. So we had wanted to see that once the Child Rights Act had been enacted, then we should have come to the public and see how we can implement it appropriately. But because it's becoming prevalent now and the Child Rights Act is there, so we decided that we should have this press release now. And at the tail end of it, it's going to be quarterly. We are going to brief the entire country, like you see, like you saw what happened in Kailan, with the 1-year-old. We are going to ensure that all of these cases, are brought to light, so that people can know that there is a law, and all this abuse against children should stop and immediately.
So just now, Shaku was asking you that indeed we have laws, and we always have laws. The problem is implementation or enforcement. We've not been seeing it in Sierra Leone. All the sometimes compromise with the perpetrators. We don't have enforcement. Enforcement is the big elephant in the room. How different is it going to be this time around?
So this is a strategy that the ministry has taken now. I can tell you, we are currently on the review of the Child Rights Act. That itself, if I want to use this medium to plead to the House of Representatives to ensure that we have this law. Before this time it used to be there, and there was no form of sanction, appropriate sanction, to levy against perpetrators of violence against child abuse. So now we want to ensure that because it is still them, let them kindly ensure that we have this law passed, so that at least the ministry and other child protection stakeholders will continue to do their work and ensure that the welfare of children in this country
But Mr. Tula, how do you protect children in the streets and children on the streets? Because these are two different categories of children. We have children in the streets and those on the streets, and also children in conflict with the law. I mean, delinquent children.
Yeah, children in and on the streets, children that are permanently, there are children that are on and off the streets. These are also part of the child protection concern that the ministry is facing. We recently developed the children in street situation. Now we call them children in street situations. We don't say children street children. So we've developed this strategy. They are children of this country as well. So the ministry, first of all, is trying to ensure that we have a head count of them. And this, you agree with me, involve the collaboration of everyone. Everyone. You think, once the ministry is implementing this, you give out a press release like this, and if you know there's a children without scare,
the reason I'm asking this question, they are the most vulnerable. They are the most vulnerable because
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you entirely. So that is why the ministry is working with safe homes. We are also working with community people. So it's like if you know that you have a child, if there isn't proper care, or there is a child that you can afford to care for, because it is our responsibility as well. As parents, we can come together as community to ensure that these children, we place them appropriately, find alternative care for them, to so they can grow in the community and become what we want to see them.
Mr. Tula, you're talking about safe homes, but how safe are these safe homes that you are talking about for children? Some of these safe homes also have their own issues. You and I know there are issues always coming out of these homes. How safe are they?
Truly, I'll bring everything to this press release. In fact, the child puts the essence of the press release is for everybody, all of us. I'll tell you, there are concerns. That is the transparency of this press release. That is what we want to bring to the public. We know there are challenges, but the safe home, the ministry is continuing the monitoring aspect of it.
Because some people are just opening it as a way of making money. Because when you have these homes, you always have charity organizations, you always have institutions coming in to see how they can assist. But in actual fact, the kids in these homes, some of them are not safe.
Recently, I would tell you, we went. I went to the northwestern part of the country. We did monitoring on the safe homes and interim care center. Obviously, we are going to close many of them. The recommendation is there. If you're not up to the standard, you're going to close. We are going to close you down, and the children will place them to ones that are doing quite well. So, as a ministry, as a community and government, it's the role of everyone. It's the role of everyone. If we have people that have the facility, you come, even with those that have in the support from NGOs, let them use it appropriately for the benefit of children. Because government and ministry alone cannot handle this thing. Back to the it was 3 children we're talking about. We are going to have a head count them, because when we have this head count, that will know how many of them are there. And obviously, we make the Ministry of Education and the safe home facilities that you're talking about, and also talk to the public. If there is a child you've seen that you want to take, we see how we can appropriately place child to for the betterment and growth of that child. By this way, we believe all of us can contribute to the.
But what about delinquent children? I mean, children in conflict with the law. There are times you go to some of our facilities, you see, children, sharing the same with hardcore criminals against the law. I know it is against the law. You cannot place a minor with a hardcore criminal in the same, detention facilities.
So, just children in and the law that you're talking about is also what the ministry is looking at. Basically, we have the diversion guideline that we are looking at for miscellaneous crime and offences. We are saying that these are cases that should not be taken into account. They should be diverted. We ask the victims. We ask the victims of these crimes, whether it's against a child or an adult. We'll see how we can, divert those cases so children will continue to go to school and at the same time, they, you know, we deal with them in an alternative means.
So how often do you visit these correctional centers that Chef is talking about? How often?
Often time, I will tell you this. With this MOU with them, they spoke to our colleague, female colleague, to visit the female correctional center for a child that is there. Even it's the male, the maximum correctional center, will go there. They'll, you know, once they see someone that's, you know, as long as you have that semblance of a child, obviously they will call the bishop. I'll call my colleague to, you know, to come and do the necessary age assessment. If there have been mistake or charge, you know, there are times when they are often charged with adults. So, you know, we'll separate them and tell them either if it's on remand, obviously we'll take them to remand and after school as the case.
All right, thank you very much. He's Ashiru Tula, and he's Assistant Director of Gender, Ministry of Gender and Children's. Yes, this is Good Morning Sailing. If you have questions for Mr. Tula, send them to the number on the screen. Go to our Facebook page, Slbc TV Live. We continue with the program to help pupils prepare early for the 2026 West Africa Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination was the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education (MBSSC), National Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools, and the National Union of Private Schools (NUPS) recently issued a joint statement urging school authorities to submit pupils' data for the 2026 WASC time to avoid any delay. But since the statement was issued, how well have schools complied? Well, joining us in the studio this morning to shed more light on this is Alfonso Manley, who is the National Coordinator, Civil Rights Coalition. Good morning, Alfonso. Welcome to the service.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. Yes, but I've been here for some time now, but thank God I'm recovering.
Okay, so let's talk about this issue of issuing a press release or a statement calling on authorities to make sure that they upload the data or data for children who are to take the WASC exams in 2026. We're here again. It happened last year. You guys were here calling on school authorities to upload the necessary documents for these kids, and here we are. The whole school, a very popular one for that matter, was unable to send a single candidate for the just couple of days, the 2025 was, and they are again. But what do you think is really happening?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, to write any WASC exam is a process. It's not an event. So the process has started. The Ministry of Basic Education, charged with the responsibility to provide quality education for our kids, have started this process with partners and stakeholders. A meeting has been held in the ministry with TSC, with the SLTU, with TSS, the Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools, the National Union of Private Schools. After that meeting, on the 14th of May, the ministry issued out a press release to give several directives as to how entries should be submitted to the ministry and as to how school should upload into the CAS1 portal, which is very important if your kid is to write to 2026 WASC. How it started. Based on the press release, the ministry is calling on all stakeholders. What are these stakeholders? Every Sierra Leonean. All of us are involved. All of us are connected. If your kid is not going to school, your family, your ward, maybe somebody in your area attends school. So all of us are concerned. Now, what are these directives? From the May 19th to June 16th, heads of school are under obligation to submit Becker results to the Ministry of Basic Education to the DDs.
So for candidates that will be taking the next one,
Yes.
is that what you are saying?
The Becker
Okay.
check. So let me explain the process. This time you are not asked to come to Freetown. Each and every district have deputy director of education. So you have been mandated that from the 19th of May to the 16th of June, which is just around the corner, you should submit all Becker results to the DD. It is the responsibility of the DD to submit these results to the office of the Chief Education Officer, who is the head of policy in the Ministry of Basic Education. That's one. Secondly, another clear timeline has been given. After you have submitted, to know whether those results you are authentic. Just to guide the process, before you can write the WASH, you must have passed Becker 5 subjects, including English or mathematics.
Is there a timeline?
Yes, so I'm just, actually, to people understand the process. The timeline for this verification that the ministry verified to authenticate those results is from June 17 to July 16.
So I'm talking about timeline for the Becker results.
Yes, that's the timeline that just was 19th to the 16th of June.
So maybe you are getting what I'm saying. I'm actually asking. The ministry will say from 2000 and if you attempted the Becker results within this period, you qualified, or if you have attempted outside this period, you are not qualified. That's what I'm saying.
Firstly, you have faced the repeater policy. No repeater should write the in-school WAS exam, because where are you going to get your CAS 1, CAS 2 and CAS 3? So there is no more repeater.
So the
secondly,
2002.
Yes, it's 2022. 2021, perhaps they can understand. Maybe during course you repeated SS1 or SS2, so let's say 2021.
Okay.
Right. Now, the ministry, the period that the ministry verified this information that the DD have submitted to the office of the Chief Education Officer is from the 17th of June to the 16th of July 2025. The ministry will take time to verify, and now there is an app being used by the ministry. Mark you, the ministry have what we call education sector plan. It had 9 objectives. Objective 9 talks about the use of data and technology to aid in education. So it's no more paper-based checking. Now they use an app to check. After that, the results will be submitted to heads of school again. Now, when this result is being submitted to head of school, a copy is also sent to WAEC. For instance, after the ministry have verified girls' high school Becker results, they will send these same results to the ministry. So these are candidates that are eligible to write the 2026 WAS based on their results. Same slip, that same information about that school is also be sent to WAEC directly by Ministry of Basic Education. Now, heads of school are now under obligation, as clearly stated within the time frame, to say from the 17th of July to the 31st of August, you should upload CAS 1. Failing to upload CAS 1, your kids will not write the WAS exam. As for the case of girls' school,
CAS 1, are you referring to
continuous assessment
score? I know it is continuous assessment scores, but then if it is CAS 1,
so those promoted from SS1 to SS2 is 1.
CAS 2 is SS2, SS1.
Yes, and so on and so forth, okay. And the BRS.
Okay. So now,
the most important one.
No, although we are here to talk about 2026 WAS, but then what is your honest opinion on that 45-year-old woman who was caught, in an example?
Okay.
So after and your honest opinion on her and the manner in which the everything was handled.
Okay, thank you. So let me just finish with this timeline. I dealt with that matter on the radio this morning, and I'm happy I've asked you this question. So you are the most critical presenter in Slbc, and I know.
This is connected to what you are saying.
Exactly, okay. Good. So let me just finish with the timeline.
Okay.
So, from the 17th of July, after the ministry have ensured they've done the check and they've submitted all of those information to the school again and to WAEC, schools are to upload in the WAEC portal CAS1 from the 17th of July to the 31st of August. Now the portal closes on the 30th of September. So from the 1st of September to the 30th of September, if there are any issues you have with the uploading system or any issues, it can be resolved before the portal closes.
So Alfonso, with all these stringent measures in place for one to be able to take was, how was that woman able and that school able to insert the name of this woman who is outside the timeline?
Okay, thank you very
She's
much.
definitely outside the timeline, because for you to be at age 45 and then you were able, with all these difficulties that you're explaining, and the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School has been
Responsibility. It is the responsibility of the Ministry of Basic Education to verify Becker results. It is the responsibility of school heads to upload into the WAEC system. The ministry does not have the PIN for any school. For you to access the portal, have a PIN, personal identification number. That number is only given to the principal, not even the vice principal. And that number is not subsequently given to the Ministry of Basic Education. That's one, responsibility. Two, let's look at rules and regulation governing examination. Firstly, when that woman was interrogated by the Deputy Minister to Mamusu Masakoi, Mrs., the minister asked her age. She firstly said 27. And the minister said, what? Ma'am, 27? She said, no, 45. Then there is an issue. So let's ask ourselves the question. A 45-year-old woman, does she suppose to write in-was or private was? In-was, no. Private was is yes. Does she have continuous assessment score, a legal, genuine, continuous assessment score? No.
Well,
does she ask me the question? So if I should answer,
okay, now, this is about the school system. Somebody has to have, a kind of index number in the first place. And listen, in fact, when I know that when to sit to an exam, your photo, your passport picture is always submitted. You understand? And it's a process for you to finally get to that exam hall. There is a process. So allow me to answer the question. So the question is very short and simple. On whose head does that blame squarely lies?
So I'm asking questions. Public understand. So they take emotion out of this thing.
It's not emotion, it's about what happened.
No, it's about emotion and the law.
Okay, now explain to us.
Good. So I'm explaining examination regulation, rules and regulation. Put aside the emotion, whether she was disgraced. No, put aside that emotion.
No, this is not disgrace. No, get this very clear. It's not about disgrace.
So let me explain the regulation.
How was she able to get into
This is what I'm explaining.
No, I'm saying this one is about a disgrace. No.
So this is what I'm explaining.
It's
So
how she got into that exam hall.
Good. Now, so you ask yourself the question: should that lady be in that particular examination hall at that time? The answer is no. How do you get there? Firstly, you have had our advocacy. Heads of school are soliciting money from candidates who are not eligible to write and falsify their detail. So how? That head of school must have falsified the age to say that woman is 27 years of age and uploaded her in the portal system. Whose responsibility uploading the portal system? Is it the ministry or the school head? It is the school head. I've uploaded. Why I did not pick it up? Because in uploading class 1, you can send names. If you don't have the picture of that particular candidate, you can wait until the BRS. But when you upload the BRS, you must have picked it up that this particular lady, just seeing her face on the first glance, you should have questioned the age of that particular candidate.
To round it up, Alfonso, you now come to the conclusion that it is not blame that should be laid on one person or institution.
The blame squarely lies with the head of school. It's not the ministry.
But you also petitioned. Why is it that why did it take it up?
So that's the point.
Which means
when they upload BRS, the ministry did not have access to the BRS. When they upload class 1, the ministry did not have access to those information uploaded. It's only WAEC. It's only WAEC. So WAEC should have picked it up to say this particular.
So Alfonso, I have a different opinion or a different view on the issue of photo, because I can be 45 years of age. My looks does not reflect my age.
The difference is vast. But look that picture. They'll tell you see and people go to no disagree. No picture. One. Or show me one. No, bring out one. If you bring out a designer from situation, if you bring out one picking, we all to serve you that kind of job and they design from people like.
And I tell you I'm 25. Will you deny?
You don't force me. No, answer the question.
I don't need to force you.
For 7 years old man, we are talking of. Okay, now, if people can understand. If you are people can understand. Okay. But for 7 to 15, no.
So, come back to you. Because I know the topic is very clear.
No.
And we are going back to you, but for now we are going for it. Okay. Then he was just being informed that we shall be joining France, Nice in France. Our President just Mother is attending the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. We shall bring you any moment from now, because it's very important. It's a conference on ocean. All of us know how our oceans are being polluted nowadays. So we shall bring in a Nice for that particular conference. We are our head of state will be asking it's very good for the week, and we'll be like that.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles, and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's
meat fufu flour, shito, pisa, and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base,
Ghanaian original taste.
Program you're still watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation and for social media handles. Now, the Sierra Leone Medical Dental Association committed to helping membership both in and professionally, also personally, so that they can better serve the health and well-being of citizens, non-citizens. This year, the association is hosting its mid-year congress under the theme Mpox and Global Health and Security, Lesson, Gaps, and Future Direction. The event will also spotlight on a critical issue, surgery in low resources setting, building local capacity, serving or saving lives. But how significant is this congress? Well, in the studios, we have Dr. Fatu Ani Kaloko. She is Congress Secretary the Medical Dental Association. Good morning, Madam Kako, and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Okay, now this conference is coming at a time when the Africa CDC, has identified Sierra Leone for the past couple of months as a country in Africa that is reporting the highest cases of Mpox, the highest Mpox cases. In fact, according to African CDC, 47% of recently recorded cases of Mpox in Africa is in Sierra Leone. So where do you start? Especially so when this conference, this congress is on. You have the theme Mpox and global health security.
So once again, good morning, viewers. Good morning, guests and hosts in the studio. I'm Fatuami Kaloko, Congress Secretary for SLMDA, and that's a particular theme that goes with what is going on around us. So as of last year, we did something on sickle cell, and it was done in Bo. Now we're having something on Mpox in Kenema, and it's not a coincidence that we decided to use Mpox as our theme. The reason mainly is because we have noticed a significant rise in the number of active cases from January when we had our first case. It means I should have collected my second dose by now. And it is only after having that second dose that you are kind of prevented from having the Mpox. Because there are people who have been vaccinated but they still end up finding themselves having the Mpox virus. You see, and I've heard that it's quite expensive, but like I said, I do not know the logistics behind acquiring the vaccines if we're going to be able to cater to the entire population. But definitely it's an eye-opener from having no cases in January, only one confirmed, to having well over 8,000 cases. It's an eye-opener that if we're not careful, the entire Sierra Leone will be filled with Mpox people. And as it is, the center that is the epicenter for monkeypox, for Mpox, it's actually Freetown with well over 2,000 cases. That is alarming. We're only hoping and pleading that we'll get more vaccines so that people can be prevented and curtail the spread of this virus.
So now, let us discuss according to some of the things, according to the information we got, some of the things that we're discussing. We also have to do with the global health and security. Gaps and future generation. But let us know, because I know it's not only Mpox you are going to.
We still get towards Mpox. So, for instance,
everything is Mpox.
The theme is Mpox. We have also been able to identify our city is extremely.
Could lack of vaccines be one of the gaps?
Yes, it's definitely one of the gaps. It's a major gap, obviously. So vaccine is a gap. How filthy the city is also a gap. If you take a walk around the beach road, I keep saying it, you wouldn't want to have a look at the lonely beach. And things.
This particular approach to ensuring that we prevent ourselves, it has to be a multi-sector kind of approach.
Yeah.
Every hands on.
Yeah.
Every hand on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But as medical and dental association, do you think have that kind of synergy with other institutions or line ministries, departments and agencies that are, like for example, you spoke about sanitation, clean environment. Excuse.
It's not an excuse. Absolutely not. It's not an excuse. You can be poor, but you're association with friendly hospitals all over the world, particularly India, where they host certain topics presentation and to
outcome, you know, on this particular congress. What are the things you expect to come out with? Well, the Calabash newspaper says Dental Group refutes SLMMDC claims and affirms a legitimate release for Kasafoni mining. Which our President Fatherview is attending, and he'll be giving a statement. We shall be joining Nice and for that live broadcast. Many thanks to the entire production team. It's well, the Sarah Queens were here or you know, the day before yesterday, right? On a Saturday. Yes. Victoriously after winning the Wafu tournament in Mauritania. Congratulations to our